Hey everybody, my name's Andy and I'm the band leader of Repplica. I thought I'd do a video today on this guitar here, this amazing guitar. So I like to call this guitar an ES1234 because this is not a 1275 at all. Yeah, it's a custom built guitar and only one of these exists in the world. And I'll explain to you the reasons why that's the case. The 1275, the Gibson 1275, was popularized mostly by Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. And he had his custom built for him because at the time that he bought it, they weren't actually in production anymore. So on his guitar, interesting enough, this switch here, which on my guitar is the pickup selector, was actually the neck selector. So he actually changed which neck he was using with this pickup, with this switch, sorry. And then he used this switch here, which I used to change the necks for the pickups. So a lot of the time his position of the switch was in the middle. And so he just used this to change between the two necks, whereas mine is the opposite way around. So up the top here, let's switch to the rhythm pickup. This one here is the 12 in up position. And in the down position is the 6-string guitar. And you can put them in the middle and it actually does both necks, but it kind of halves the output. And you go into all sorts of problems if it's in the middle position here because you get sympathetic string ring. Yeah, so you don't really want to do that, but I'll show you a cool effect. If I put it on the bottom string, sorry, if I put it on the 12 string, but I play the 6 string, you get all the sympathetic string ring from the top guitar. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so you get that effect, but you don't really want to have that, especially not when you're playing really loud and the guitar's prone to feedback. So anyways, that's a little quirk of the design feature and the way that the switch, which is inside here, works anyway. So I'm going to talk about the different things that happened to this guitar to get it to where it is now. And I want to say a really big thanks to my dad, who basically made this guitar except for these necks, which came from the original guitar, which I bought roughly a year and a bit ago. So I'm going to tell you today about the story of how this guitar was made. So first of all, this guitar, these two necks came from a left-handed J Tercer double neck guitar. So when this project, Led Repplica, was in its infancy, when it was in its developmental stage, I saw a guitar on Trade Me, and that's like eBay for New Zealand, and I saw it as a sign. I was like, God's talking to me, he's telling me go forward with this project. So I bought this left-handed guitar, this left-handed double neck, and I picked it up and I quickly realized I can't use this. How can I use this? A, all the strings are upside down, B, the necks are upside down, and C, the volume controls are on the wrong side. And not just that, the J Tercers, which is what this guitar originally was, it has a volume control it's like a crossfade between the two necks. It was totally stupid. It had like some other switch which seemed to do nothing. So basically it had a pickup switch and 3 volumes. One volume to control the overall volume, one to control which neck you were using, and then a volume for tone, which was totally impractical. Anyways, so in steps my dad and says, okay, that's all right. I'll just make you a new body for the guitar and we'll change the electronics that are in it as well. So he made this body out of 2 pieces of a mahogany table that he got for like $40 from I don't know, some wood scrap. And as you can see, it's a beautiful finish. Like it really does look quite beautiful. Yeah, and then it got stained by a furniture stainer. We wanted to get the classic cherry red for the SGs, but they said it would look crap. So we just got this natural wood stain finish instead, which, you know, really looks quite beautiful actually. Next came out of the original guitar, which was left-handed. Body, Dad made out of a mahogany table. Enter the sort of ES1275 specs. So all these parts here, Dad ordered, and then he installed himself. So these stop tail pieces, both of them. One of these bridges came from I think these are both the original bridges that came out of the old guitar. So that's quite cool. Yeah. So we recycled some of the old guitar, which was good. All new volume knobs, all new volume pots. I think they're CTS pots. There are treble bleeds on each one of the volumes, so that when you use the guitar, it responds like how a Les Paul usually works. Yeah, so you still get the quack and the honk. Yeah, so the treble bleeds on both of them is really important, so that I can control the overall volume of each pickup and each neck, but I can also roll back the volume to get dynamic responses, like I would with my Les Paul. So when you're playing songs like this, you can still hear all the notes, and it's not just a big, dirty, awful mess, which is kind of what happens if I turn all the way up. So you can actually hear the notes going to middle position. You get a nice little bubbly honk. Yeah, so you can hear all the notes really well. It articulates really clearly, and that's really important to get that Jimmy Page ES1275 sound. Okay, so pickups. The original pickups that came from the old guitar were really pretty insufficient. The guitar itself is manufactured in China, which is not a bad thing, but some of the parts just were really substandard. So we changed the pickup. So let's start with the 6-string first. So in the 6-string, we have, in the neck, we have a Damasio 36th anniversary PAF, which is actually really nice. It's really responsive. Wrong neck. So it's really nice and responsive. Duties up well. Cleans up really well. Okay, and then in the neck here, I actually bought these as a set special deal from the Rock Shop. So this is a Damasio Super Distortion. It really is a Super Distortion. It's 13 ohms output, I think. It's really cranking. get the idea. So it's got a really high output. This one's around 6 or 7 ohms, quite low. Okay, let's go up to the 12 string now. In the neck we have a custom 57 Gibson pickup, which is like a modern version of a PAF. Yeah, it's quite nice, it breathes quite well. You can still hear the 12 stringiness, which is good. This came out of my 335, which I replaced with a one of those jazz pickups. Yeah, it's just a little bit more mid-less. Yeah, so which is good for that guitar because it's got so many mids, because it's a big hollow body guitar, semi-hollow. So I'm going to tweak this pickup a little bit, I think, to see what I can do just to make it even more airy and bright. And then over here in the bridge position in the 12, we've got a 59 1B, I think it's called. And it's like the bridge version of the 59 pickup, and it's really, really, really bubbly. Really bright. Sounds like a Telecaster. It's great. I love it for this guitar. I didn't like it so much when it was in my Les Paul, so I replaced that with a SH16 custom hybrid 59. Yeah, and so when they're in between, you get this great bubbly sound, which is just great. I love that sound. You know, it's like being taken back to the 70s and just Led Zeppelin heaven. So yeah, so that's what's in the pickups. What can I tell you about the rest of it? Yeah, not too much as such, other than when Dad was installing all these parts into this body, he had to be really meticulous about how he did it. He invented tools to create the contour in the body itself. You know, so he did all these things just to make it as much like the original as possible. By the way, that one thing that makes this considerably different to the original is that the body is way smaller and way lighter. And on this guitar, I can actually get access on the 6th string all the way up to the 22nd fret. And same thing on the 12th. Not that I never use that. On the top here, we've made this little contraption, if you can see it, just turn the volume off. It's got a thing where the strap can attach here, and it just makes it a little bit further because the headstocks are so heavy on this guitar and the body isn't quite heavy enough that it's a little bit head heavy. So by putting the strap extension here, it just allows it to be more balanced when I'm playing it, and I keep it pretty high because my arms aren't as long as Jimmy Page's, and he seems to be able to play all the way down here, which I can't do. I start to get like a carpal tunnel or something, and yeah. I mean, my arms are pretty long, but they're not Jimmy Page long, that's for sure. So that's basically an overview of this guitar. Yeah, and I really just want to say thanks to my dad for doing this. I mean, you know, this whole project is kind of like a bucket list thing for me, and I love Led Zeppelin, and the band is so amazing, and they're doing such a good job, and I just want to do as good a job as possible of bringing alive the magic that I feel when I hear and play Led Zeppelin. And yeah, everyone's kind of indulging my fantasy, you know. It's like a really, really wholesome fantasy. But that's all I want to do. I just want to bring the music alive for other people. And I want to relive that magic that I feel, that I felt the first time that I heard Zeppelin, you know. It was like it really was a eureka moment for me. And so I just want to keep bringing that alive for people. And just taking it to a level of excellence that people come to expect when they see a Led Zeppelin show. So, you know, there's a lot of practice that's involved behind the scenes, but it's all for the love of Zeppelin, you know. So that's it. That's all I want to say about that. And hey, looking forward to seeing you at our show, July 1st, Saturday, Galatos. We can't wait to see you. We can't wait to bring all these instruments. It's going to be an amazing show. You're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time. It's just going to be really, really cool. So come along, buy a ticket, get in there for those early bird tickets, $30. Yeah, you're going to have a great time. See you then.